So well, YouTube had to split this video in two. But we are back, of course, to the Monon Bridge, High Bridge. And I just wanted to show that the town Monon up there over 421 highway, and as you can see, runs below is Delphi, and hell, even the Flora Fires is right there. Supposedly people say that fire has something to do with maybe the killer. But having these train tracks run down through this area, and what I said before I shut the thing off and had to split the video talking about how this tunnel needs to be looked at. I would love someone to really record that, and I don't know why no one has yet. It would be very interesting to see what this tunnel looks like. Whether it's a drainage tunnel, say so, or a legit tunnel that maybe could have ran slaveries and slaves. Because there are some tunnels here in Leominster, Mass. that ran the slaves through so they wouldn't be seen or whatnot. Let alone me talking about the Chinese people that came here to work and were put below the ground, to live underground while building them tunnels too. So, I mean, these tunnels, man, and there's a lot out towards that way. And what I was going to get to say, too, and I didn't get to after I cut the video was, if there is an actual tunnel, through these train lines, I'm about to wonder if the gangsters, the mob back in the 30s and 20s, say so, Al Capone, like people like him. Because, mind you, these towns in this state are not too far off from Chicago, Illinois. So I'm about to wonder where that Monon Bridge really ran through. Whether it was running down south and how far it went up north. And I'm for sure it was a cutting pass, for that because of the Chicago and the Great Lakes and bringing in, supplies to travel through trains. And I can just imagine how many tunnels were made, the illegal bootlegging. So, I mean, there's all kinds of possibilities. But someone also does, and as you can see here, how far Chicago and the Great Lake there is from Delphi Community Middle School. See that path? Road to the old Chicago, Illinois, folks. Notorious gangster city. But also, Bedford is this claim down there, which that is, further down from, of course, Delphi and Flora, going down more south. But I'm about to wonder, and it is said that the Monon Railroad runs into Bedford. Because on this mapping thing that I saved here, it speaks of Bedford too. So with that being said, and all these, and that's what came up when this came up. These records of bridges and stuff came in as Bedford when I looked it up or whatnot. This, you can see a lot of things here, Ohio, and then Delphi, historic trails, so forth, but I ain't gonna be able to fuck. Oh, world YouTube, sorry. Archie here, Tear for Sight. And I had to do a cut video. And of course, this has to do with the Delphi Murders. Curly JK is where I got this information from. But I spawned off from what he was talking about on his video and found out some other interesting stuff other than a bunker or tunnel beneath, of course, what I've been going over in the first half of the video. And I wanted to show this. Of course, here we have Bedford down here, which is said to have caves and tunnels. Now, not only does Bedford, I looked up, I had a mapping out of, I forgot to mention this earlier in the first half of the video, that if anybody hadn't seen it yet, I did a mapping out of tunnels in the Indiana state. And that mapping out, I forgot to mention this earlier, did not label Carroll County or Delphi to have any major tunnels, but I would say this find here, once again, from Curly JK, if I'm saying that right. Hope I got the JK part. Is that, I don't know if anybody knew this, but I'm sure everybody from Indiana knows about. And that's Delphi. I just wanted to show some mapping real quick anyways, of how far Delphi is from Chicago. And I mean, not only that, you got the Monon town, like the Monon, I hope I'm saying this right, Monon High Bridge in Delphi. And there's a town, there's Delphi. Monon is a town, and that's actually where the railroad company, I guess, began for that railroad track that is now abandoned and now a walking area. Of course, heads all the way down to Delphi. But I want to say I'm almost guaranteed that it also runs into Chicago. And if there is a actual tunnel under the Delphi Monon Hill High Bridge, and not a bunker. I mean, there could be a bunker too. Don't get me wrong. Maybe I think I said it before, but if I hadn't, I'm saying it again, a slavery bunker. And a lot of times them tunnels were used. I know there's one here, Francis Drake House in Leominster, Mass. Has underground slavery tunnels where all the slaves would run if they were being, looked up or being, chased by the law or whatnot. What the hell is that? What the hell did I just step on? Some bit. Huh. Nothing. But also I was coming up with the idea of, these tunnels being built out that way, more along the west coast. And like I spoke of the Chinese slaves that came here to the United States and were forced to live in them tunnels. never to come up on up above. Always had to live in them tunnels. So they were just more than colored slaves back in the day. And I want to say somehow, some way, that not only did these slavery made tunnels, I want to say they were made just more than just for slavery. Probably running illegal moonshine, especially coming from the damn Chicago area with the notorious famous Al Capone and all the other, mob bosses back in them days that ruled the streets. So could it be that them tunnels were made for also that illegal bootlegging, the booze? Get yourself one of them pump trains. Maybe they put wheels on it. So put a bunch of cases of booze on that sucker and pump down in the tunnels. But also, who knows? These tunnels could have been used by the mob to make people disappear. Just like what Delphi used it for, the BG. But one main concern about this tunnel issue is why haven't anybody, even Greeno, recorded this tunnel? Now, out of all the things, it could honestly be just one of them flood tunnels so the tracks don't fill up with water. It's like I said, I've seen them before. Hell, I've seen one where you have to crawl on your hands and knees to get through it. And I was sitting there wondering, what the hell is this? And then I looked it up, and there it was. But these tunnels, these big tunnels, and I do have one I got to talk about that was in Corning, New York. When I went out there, I actually went by that tunnel because I used to play in that tunnel when I was a kid. Due to the fact that I used to, I watched that movie, Brian De Palma's, what the hell was that movie? It was an awesome movie. I loved that movie, man. It was so well played, and it had that, Indian-looking guy who was dressed up with a mask, and he knew, this guy had a, what was the name of the movie? I just watched that not too long ago. Body Double. Awesome movie. I recommend anybody to watch that movie. But due to the fact that the guy had a claustrophobic of being in, dark spaces, he went and robbed a girl that he was who really got murdered, I think. Well, maybe it was I forget what the concept of the story was. I think the girl did get killed, really, but, but the tunnel scene, I mean, that one didn't run to the railroad tracks, but the one in Corning, New York, reminded me so much of that tunnel. And I used to always play in it. I actually was supposed to do the video on that. The street I actually lived on, Bridge Street. And that tunnel I show, but now it's all closed off. I don't know why. But it used to be a crossway under the tunnel. That used to be a walkway for you to get onto the other side. But I don't know what happened to that one. But these tunnels, everybody speaks of. Why hasn't this Monon, man, why am I screwing that name up? I'll just call it the High Bridge because I'm all tongue twisted right now. Blah, Monon, High Bridge. You think I'm high. But why hasn't nobody gotten a picture of this or a video of this actual tunnel? If anybody needs to really investigate that tunnel, I think, because who knows, maybe Bridge Guy left something behind in there. Although he's been out so long, he could have went back and grabbed whatever. But if that would have been searched in the beginning, I mean, I never read anything, correct me if I'm wrong, anything about that tunnel being properly searched or even thought of being used. But the articles are up. I think I got that. I hope of the newspaper thing. And I thought I saved them. Oh, you SOB. Could have sworn I took a picture of them. Nope. You jerk. Thought I took a picture of them. Oh, that's what it is. I took a picture. I'm in the screenshots. Bear with me, folks. There they are. So, I mean, I want to get to the one that says it right here. Because in the beginning of this video, Curly JK keeps talking about a bunker. But here it says in Intraband tunnel is underneath the bridge. But it also says, where is that? I mean, all in all, it says tunnel. And then if it is one of them, you know, whether it's a drainage or walking through, so you don't walk on the tracks. Or let alone how anyways you're going to walk on them tracks when you're up in the 100 feet in the frickin' air. So it does make me question, would it be a drainage tunnel? Because yes, it's for one by the river. But, I mean, all in all, seeing this just makes me think. Sealed so that it's a permanent historic tourist attraction. I mean, this was in 1994, this article. I mean, they were really trying to make something of this bridge, of course. But there they are, as you can see. It don't show the tunnel. They didn't even show this in the article either. And I don't know why. But if there was a tunnel there, you'd think someone would take a picture of it just to show what it means or what it is. But all in all, this video right here, right now, is questioning why this hasn't been done yet. You know, why hasn't anybody showed us this tunnel? I hope someone can do that so we can get some depth on what is really going on in this case. But all in all, right, the only thing now that really, you know, concerns me is the main thing of what other stuff was said on that phone. I mean, I did what I was supposed to go over. Someone sent me some audio that someone said, oh my God, in that down the hill video. I didn't get to do that. They gave me permission to, but. So anyways, I don't know, man. There's two main things that I'd like to see more of. Of course, one of them we ain't gonna be hearing nothing from because the police won't release it. And that's the full video of what happened that day. But the second thing now, I'm interested in what this bridge really looks like. Or is there a real long tunnel that could have been something for illegally, you know, transporting stuff set up for, you know, literally maybe killing people. That's the thing I want to find out about, really, about this tunnel. Or if it is a drain tunnel or whatever. All in all, I'd like to see this thing on video. And if there is something out there, could someone share the link? Because I haven't found anything yet. But I know I did a video on this before, and I showed you that big white concrete tunnel that, I think it might have been the one. Because when I started looking into that, that's what came up. And then I tapped in this again, and then this came up. And it showed that tunnel, so I don't know. It is a very interesting thing. It is something cool that, made me find some other stuff, especially knowing now how long that train track rolls, and to see, how can I say it? To see where it, mainly comes from. Hey, come on. No. Come on. No, Ted. No. And, definitely know what. How can I have a dog that messed me up? I mean, seeing it, how close it is, and where it began there, pretty much near Chicago, tells me a lot. So, I mean, whatever the case may be, I want to thank, Curly JK for sharing more on this, because there definitely is more out there that needs to be looked at. And definitely someone needs to go out there to check this tunnel to see, to give everybody what a perspective of what it really looks like. So I hope someone can step up and do that. Other than that, be safe, take care. Always beware. Like I say, he's still out there. He's gotta be. There's still a lot of things out there that ain't been properly found yet. And still we're scratching our heads, and still there's a bunch of suspects, but no capture. And yeah, how much longer is this gonna go on? Ridiculousness. Great TV show, by the way. Until then, be safe, take care once again, and someone give me a damn visual of that bridge. I got to see it. Thank you.